Hey guys, welcome back to Baking with Matisse. This week I wanted to test out another one of Claire's recipes from her new book, Dessert Person, and that is her loaded cornbread. This recipe looks really delicious and I love eating cornbread, so let's get right into it. To make Claire's loaded cornbread, I needed 7 tablespoons of butter, 3 slices of chopped bacon, 2 cups of corn kernels, 4 chopped green onions. The recipe called for scallions, but I thought green onions would be an okay substitute. 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a half cup of yellow cornmeal, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1½ teaspoons of salt, a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of ground black pepper, 2 eggs, 1 cup of sour cream, a half cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of dry cilantro. It called for fresh cilantro, but I didn't have any, so I just used some dry. Additionally, the recipe called for a jalapeno chili and ground cayenne pepper, but I'm not a big spicy person, so I decided to leave that out. I started by melting 5 tablespoons of butter in a cast iron skillet over medium heat, and then I added the bacon. I cooked that for about 5 minutes until it was crispy. To that, I added the corn and green onions. I cooked that for just about a minute because the corn was already soft since I was using frozen corn. Separately, in a bowl, I whisked together the flour, cornmeal, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and pepper. In another bowl, I whisked the eggs until they were streak-free, and then added the sour cream, milk, sugar, and cilantro, and whisked until it was all smooth. Switching to a spatula, I finally mixed the wet ingredients and bacon-corn mixture into the dry ingredients. Once the batter was evenly mixed, I melted the remaining butter, coating the same skillet, and then poured the batter in, smoothing out the top. This baked at 425 for 20 to 25 minutes until it was puffed and golden brown on top. I let it cool slightly before slicing, and let me say, I'm excited to give this a try. Alright, so I have a piece of the cornbread here, and I'm excited to give this a taste. All of the butter and bacon fat in there gives it a really great flavor. I've never actually had cornbread with chunks of corn in it before, or chunks of anything for that matter, and I really enjoy it actually. The bacon adds a nice saltiness to it that I love. I will say, I'm not sure if it's the size of the pan I use, but it's not a very tall piece of cornbread. Also, it's not as dry as some cornbreads, which for me is a plus, but if you like using your cornbread to soak up some of the sauce of whatever you're eating it with, then this might not be the best thing to have that with. I think this would probably go really great though with some chili or some other soup dish like that. I will say it's quite a lot of ingredients, so if you want something that's really quick and easy, well, this probably doesn't take too much time. It does take a lot of time to measure out all the ingredients and get everything you need to get. So this is definitely something, as I did, where you could not include the jalapenos if you don't like spicy, or probably not even include the chunks of corn if you don't have that with you. It's just a recipe you could probably play around a lot with. This is like a pretty good cornbread. I'm not sure if it's the best cornbread I've ever had though. It's definitely not a traditional cornbread, so if you're looking for something like that, I wouldn't use this recipe. But if you want a cornbread that packs a lot of flavor and is not dry, then I would recommend you trying this out. Well, that's all for this week's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment what other recipes you want me to make from Claire's book Dessert Person. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.